Can you guys hear that? There's definitely a buzz at the hospital today. That's because we're making bee hotels. We're building homes for some very important residents, native bees. Renae is running this workshop as a part of Dream Big Week, and she is the queen bee of sustainability at the hospital. She also looks after the hospital garden and beehive on level 5.
We have a table full of beautiful materials to make our bee hotels. But how do we do it? We better talk to the queen bee ourselves.
And here she is, the queen bee herself.
Oh, hi! Hi, Juice TV. My name's Renae and I have an amazing job at the hospital. Do you want to hear what it's about? I work as the sustainability officer inside the hospital, so I get to look after all of the environment aspects of the hospital. So recycling, but the most important thing we do with our environment is to look after our native wildlife. And that's what we're here doing today, kids. We're making bee hotels.
So Renae, before we start making the bee hotels, can you tell us a bit about native bees?
Oh, I'd love to, because I'm a little bit bee crazy. So native bees in Australia are just as important as kangaroos and koalas. They are native to Queensland and across Australia. So there's 1,700 species of native bees in Queensland alone. And what we've got is a huge difference of different types of bees. So some of them are beautiful golden colours like our teddy bear bee, and some of them are blue banded bees with these electric neon backs. And then there are other bees with a harlequin metallic shine, so all different types. But all of our native bees belong in our environment, and we should always be looking to conserve them and look after them. And that's why we're going to make bee hotels today, to provide them with that habitat that they need to actually reproduce in nature.
So Renae, why do we need to conserve our native bees? Why do we need to protect them?
Oh, for so many reasons. Bees are so important. They belong in our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history, where they used to use the actual parts of the beehive for their honey, for their food, for medicine. They also used it to create jewellery, and of course it's on top of the didgeridoo. That resin on top is actually from the resin within a beehive. But what's important in modern times as well is how the native bee actually works to be a pollinator, and it actually pollinates a lot of the food you get to eat. Without bees, you wouldn't have the fun things in your fruit salad like blueberries and apples and yummy things like macadamia nuts, and all of those things rely on native bees. And the reason why is because they're a little bit smaller than the honeybee, so that they can actually travel down inside the flower to be a better pollinator than the honeybee. So that's why it's important in the Australian bush and on our Australian landscape to look after our little bees.
I've heard native bees, they don't sting. That's why you see them in kindies and that, right?
You're right, they don't sting. They're completely safe to have around. So they might become defensive because they want to defend their home, but they will not sting you like a honeybee. So they're safe to have around in kindies and schools, and in particular hospitals. We are so lucky up on level 5 in our hospital. We have our own native beehive in our public garden for all of our visitors and friends and families to visit anytime they like. But there are other types of bees. The bees that we have on level 5 are a colony bee. So they have a queen and a worker, drones, and they have a whole social structure inside the hive. But a lot of other bees that are native in Queensland actually don't have a colony. They're solitary or semi-social. So when we look at all the beautiful range of native bees that we have, most of them actually breed and then put their nests. They're constantly looking like for a nest, just like a chicken really. And they're looking to lay their eggs inside a stick that has been eaten out by a white ant or a borer. So that's why we build the bee hotels. So these special bees that don't live in a colony have got a space to lay their egg and reproduce in our environment.
That's amazing, but let's get into it now.
All right, kids, let's get started. Let's build these bee hotels. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our sticks and we're going to make sure that we've got them around the right way. You already know about this though, right, Aiden?
Yeah, I've done this a couple times before. You can either find sticks that have already, that have been, taken out by termites,
Yeah.
or you can drill a hole. You can drill some holes in it, and that way the bees can go inside.
Should you get your dad or your mum to help you with your drill?
Yes, you definitely
I think
should.
so. And then how do you put them in? Should we stack them in a certain way?
No, you don't have to.
That's right, they can just go in like replicating nature.
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure all the holes are facing out so the bees can check into their hotel. Try and get as many as you can in to make as many hotel compartments as possible.
So you can either find a stick that already has a hole in it, or you can drill one yourself.
Hotels for open for bees-iness.
Quick break for some bee puns and bee jokes.
Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use honeycombs.
What did the teacher say to the naughty bee? Behive yourself.
What is a bee's favourite sport? Rugby.
We're here with Nadina, and we're going to show Nadina how to make her own bee hotel. So what you want to do is you want to find some sticks that already have holes in them, or you can drill some yourself. So pick them out. Stella will show you.
So first you will pick any sizes you really want, but make sure the hole's in front when you lay them in. And then just keep on going, but always make sure the hole is in front so the bees know where to lay their eggs. It looks great.
When you touch bees, they usually will sting you if you touch them. But sometimes when bees they sting people and they die. So you got to be extra careful when you try to look after them.
So here it is, guys, our finished product. I think our bees will be very comfy inside these homes.
And they're heading out to the hospital gardens. We're going to put them in all the gardens, so come on down and have a look, kids.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Bye!